Almost try to get in their eyesight, like, hello?
They're like slumped, like talking like this and stuff.
I love that, yeah, they have their eyes down. They're like, like they just got in the principal's office or something.
Like they're in trouble. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
That's
so
funny.
I'm sitting on the couch tonight with the lovely, on the couch? What am I, on the casting couch? I'm sitting with the lovely Funky Garcia tonight, and we're going to go down the road of arts a little bit. Might I say you have a fantastic mustache.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And do you style it yourself?
Yeah. Sometimes I actually do it legit with a little comb, and then mornings like this where I was just like, oh, on the way to work.
Nice. In the car, you've got it down. You're just doing it while you're driving.
Got down enough, yeah.
Nice.
Do one.
Okay.
Sometimes I'll hop out of the car and I only really have one. You know, like that one is good.
One perfect curl and the other one's doing this whole other life over here.
Yeah. Or it's just like all you know, it's all fuzzy still. It's just...
What is with hair? I feel like it's like that all the time. One hair I'll be like, oh, that's great. And the other side's all, nope, I just want to fly out here by myself.
Yeah, it's got a mind of its own.
Yeah, for sure. So let's get into it. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Let's start there. Where are you from? Where'd you grow up? How'd you get to where you're at right now? Let's go deep.
I always like to joke I'm like a hybrid between Orange County and IE.
Okay.
Like when I was real little, I grew up out here in like between, I was born in Santa Ana and then like Anaheim and Fullerton.
Okay.
So actually I went to the elementary school like a few blocks away here.
Oh yeah, that little one right there before you get to Raymond? Or before you get to...
it's on Orangethorpe. It's called Woodcrest.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, we used to call it Woodcrest.
Woodcrest. That sounds about right as a kid.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, we go to Woodcrest.
Yeah. Yeah, like I remember there's the other one down the road. It's like Richmond or whatever. I forgot what we call that one. But yeah. And I think 6th grade I moved out to Corona.
Okay.
But my mom and dad's worked out here.
Okay.
So I stayed with my mom. And they would do like a little...
Oh, the back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah.
So 50-50 or like Orange County, Corona kind of thing.
Yeah, but I mainly went to school there because like one worked nights, one worked, mornings. So ride with my mom in the morning and kind of was getting switched off.
Oh my goodness. That's a lot for a kiddo.
Yeah, but I think it like kind of taught me the grind,
Yeah. You're like, I learned the work ethic.
Yeah.
That's
like
good.
real little, I'm like, I need a coffee.
You got your little Stanley. You're like, I'm ready. Except for back then it was only a thermos.
Yeah. And I even had like my little art grind then.
At school, like slanging pictures or what?
I used to do like I could do a rose in your name.
I love it. You're out there doing like tat stencils.
Kind of, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's rad. So elementary into, how did the art come about?
This has always been drawing since I was a little kid,
Yeah.
A big influence for me would be comic books. Which is like, if you know me,
Yeah, I saw some of that. You had the Pokemon stuff and that type of drawings.
Yeah. And then I manage a comic book store now. So it's like, I'm living the dream.
Where are you at?
I'm at Comic Book Hideout. We're right down the street.
Ooh, I need to go in there.
And then we have art shows too. That's actually how I started working there.
Yes, I love that. Okay, cool. I'm a comic book nerd, honestly. Love it. I collect the Elvira comics. Go figure. Yeah. And the all the Vampirella. Dude, they're so hard to find. I've noticed they're harder and harder. Like I get all the Vincent Price ones, and they're like, no, we don't have any. They go so fast. Anyway, I digress. I can go into the comic book land all day long. So we move into growing up, loving art. Who were you influenced by mainly?
So we're like real young, like on the it's a little bit of everybody. Like comics, I loved Alex Ross and Todd McFarlane.
Nice.
And I'm trying to think of another like big artist that I used to like a lot. But those two were
Stanley.
He's a writer. Yeah.
Oh,
but
he
Jack
didn't
Kirby,
do the art, right?
I do love Jack Kirby.
Okay, so this is where I suck at all this is remembering names.
Yeah, he did the real old school stuff that kind of took me a second to like love.
Okay.
Like I always joke that they got like shovel hands, like all the older stuff.
They totally do.
Yeah. Yeah, but he had like great dynamic poses, and I think once I understood that, I was like, oh, this guy is awesome,
Nice.
And then like from like painters like Dolly's a big one. You know, Freda. I've always loved Freda. I actually have the same birthday as her.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's
so I always thought that was like, oh wow, that's crazy.
You're like born to be an artist. It's done.
Yeah, and I've always kind of drawn myself too, which is like kind of what she's known for. You know?
Yeah. So, did drawing like run in your family, like artists in your family?
Yeah, my mom could draw really well. So can my grandpa on her side.
Okay, so your mom's side of the family is
my mom's side of the family is a lot more creative. Yeah,
nice.
Well, then my dad's side too, in different ways.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, multimedia type situation. Very cool. Very cool. So then, how did you? What area are you at now? In this area?
I'm back in Fullerton.
Okay,
yeah.
back in Fullerton. That's cool.
Yeah, I when I moved out there, I was in Corona, and then go to school in San Bernardino. Lived in Norco for a second.
Kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I think I've been out here for like 6 years now.
Nice. And so, young Funky Garcia coming into art, was high school a big influence in the art world for you?
Totally. Yeah. High school, I was still drawing from like comics and stuff, and trying to do like my own personal work. But then I got into graffiti, which is where the name started to really come from. I was actually writing the Funktastic one. I went like way out there.
I love it. Funktastic one. That's fantastic.
And it was supposed to be like alter ego, and nobody ever found out who it is. And it never really lasted. Like, people in school found me out pretty quick.
They're like, that was you.
Yeah, are you doing the funky stuff? I'm like,
you're like, no, not at all. Why do you ask? Oh, that's rad.
Yeah, and I just started wanting to kind of dive into more like fine arts and stuff. And but I don't know, a pen name Funky Garcia just worked.
Yeah, I feel like that's amazing. It's drawing me in. It makes me want to see what the art looks like for sure. What would you say your basic medium is?
Like acrylics and just illustration. I love animation. I was gonna go into a whole nother avenue of like animation people, like Tex Avery and stuff. So that's the big dream. I really would love to have like an animated show.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Is that something you're working on? Like, are you working on more of the animation type stuff?
Unfortunately, no. I need to get on that, but I've always had the ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I've rushed up some short comic books that, like, one day I'll clean this up. I have the characters in mind.
You feel like you're building the minerals, though, right?
Yeah, it's either like I have to let it consume me, and it'll take like a few years to really get some legs on it, you know. Yeah. Or when I'm ready, I can take the time and like know how to build a team.
Yeah.
You know, because I follow and know a ton of animators. So like that would be the dream, to be able to like produce it.
Yeah. So walk us through when it comes to that. So talking about, you know, coming to with your creative process and stuff like that. Walk us through what that looks like, whether you're coming up with, you know, your comic book ideas or maybe a painting or something like that. What's your process?
Usually I want to think about how I want to make somebody feel. And usually I want it to be something lighthearted and fun. Yeah. In the past, I've done like darker pieces and stuff too, where I'm just like, oh, I want this to feel weird, you know, or yeah.
That's cool though. Surrounding it with feeling. That's really cool.
Yeah. I feel like that's like a major part of art, is like, how does this make you feel? Or how does this change up the vibe of a room?
I feel like that's a common question. Like when you're going through a gallery, they're always like, how does this make you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's really cool though, to surround that, you know, with the feeling. Love that. And what's been your favorite piece?
I really love this piece I did called Galaxy Goddess. It's a 3-piece like canvas series, and it's just like an outline of like a goddess surrounded by the solar system, and it's really like one of the first big pieces I've done that was like heavily in like black light colors.
Ooh, I like that.
I've been for a while messing with something that looks cool under black light and something that looks great like with regular lighting too. So like it's like a secret.
Like that transition when you turn the light on, it's something else altogether.
Yeah, because then it's like kind of switches up the vibe of the room.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course. You're like, let's turn that black light on. Let's see what happens. Yeah. That's awesome. So when it came to like your art progressing and things like that, what's been your hardest thing to overcome?
Not being, I'm still figuring that one out. I would say like not being too caught up in details or being too like, I call it like noodling, when you're like messing with the smallest little detail. You're wasting this time on like, oh, you could fill out the rest of this, but you're like really hyper fixated on like making one thing really clean.
Do you feel like that will sometimes like take the piece in a different direction maybe you weren't looking to go to? Or maybe it'll completely like lose your focus.
Sometimes it can like lead into a new direction where I'm like, ooh, actually, like the way this is coloring, like is switching up like the texture. Oh, okay, maybe I should do it over this whole thing. So I'm gonna redo this whole section.
Oh man,
yeah, like, it's constantly experimenting.
Yeah,
with it.
And evolving.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. So, what as far as experiences you've had through art and things you've done in your art and maybe art shows, people you've met, experiences you've had, what's been your most memorable experience through the art world?
It's hard. I met so many people.
Actually, I love that though.
Yeah, I've been curating for a long time now. I'm coming up on 10 years curating art shows. Like, so I got the opportunity to do a show at my friend's gallery in Pomona. And I was really only like confident in like 5 pieces, so I hit up a bunch of other art homies. Yeah. And then, but I would say the one that stuck out for me the most, I did a series over at this what used to be a gallery attached to Delicious Pizza off of West Adams in L.A., kind of by Fairfax.
Oh yeah.
I did about 4 years of shows there, or would do something every season. But we did the third year was a series I do called Heartbeats. It's like during like February Valentine's season. Yeah. And it's just like a love of art and music kind of combined together.
Oh, nice. So you do like music shows too, bringing like musicians in, or just
art? Yeah. So I know a lot of people in like the hip hop scene.
Nice.
From like producers to MCs to other organizers, a ton of DJs.
So it's kind of a fitting space for you here, huh?
yeah, exactly.
Nice.
That's why I was drawn here. But the third one was probably one of my favorite ones because I got to work with. I had some pieces from Archer One. He had these really rad Simpsons pieces that were like on like, I forget if it was like Louis Vuitton.
Oh, I saw those. Skateboard. He had those in Palm Springs for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I love that stuff. He did Monopoly stuff too, right?
Yeah, he did a bunch of different ones.
I loved those pieces. Those are really cool.
Yeah, so he was really cool. And then if you don't know, like he was doing most of the artwork for the Marathon Company with Nipsey Hussle.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's like that's cool, that like connection with hip hop and art and working with him.
I feel like that all kind of goes hand in hand though.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like that art meeting, being an artist, they kind of artists and singers and things like that, we all kind of like mesh. I like that.
Yeah, and so that was on one end, and on the other end I had a cardboard boombox with like these cool animations that were projected on it, and that was from an artist named Binsky.
Okay.
And he actually worked on like 2 big projects with Binsky. I don't know if you remember that Dismal Land that they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did like the whole entryway with the security guards checking you and everything. And it was like all cardboard, black and white.
Yeah, that's
and
so
he
cool.
did like, I think pretty much all the signs that were throughout the whole park.
That's really rad.
Banksy just like secretly works with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
So that was just cool to have like those 2 big artists that like I really love and respect. Like
in
on both sides
together
of the gallery, and then filling it with like me and my friends.
Yeah. You're like, oh, all right.
Yeah.
You feel like that was like your kind of breakthrough moment, or almost like showing your art for these big artists that you looked up to?
I feel like that was a good moment just to like, it really pushed me to just like, don't give up. Just keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going.
Kind of solidified what you're
like
doing.
Next year. Yeah.
I love that. Like you said, it's your year. It's your year of the dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, what's coming up for you? What shows you got going on?
I actually am gonna have my first booth with my own like merch and stickers, like the little funky mons and stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'll be at DesignerCon in Vegas 35 days from today.
That's huge. That's a big show.
Yeah, not nervous at all.
No. You're totally calm, cool, and collected. You're like, I got this. So you're probably taking a lot of stuff out there with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna take an original piece, and then I have about like 6 confirmed like shirts designs that I'm bringing, and a couple other ones that I'm messing with still.
I was gonna say, you coming up with some new pieces for that show.
Yeah. It'll be all like a new and old pieces kind of mix. It's like my classics and stuff.
So did you do any schooling or anything like that? Did you go to art school? What have you done as far as like education?
Yeah. I actually went to Art Institute in San Bernardino. It's like, luckily that one they really cared actually. Like
that's good, because I've heard good and bad things about the art institutes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
shout out to my buddy Thomas. He would like hand select and curate artists to come down and do like panels with us and stuff and teach us some
cool
stuff. So he really connected us to a lot of dope artists that were in like video game industry, animation, film. Because I was pursuing animation. Yeah. But the schooling kind of leaned more towards gaming.
Oh, okay.
So like I learned a lot of principles and stuff. That's what I was saying. I know like
you're like, I'm ready for that.
If I get all the tools together, I can make that cartoon.
And that's more all digital design, right?
Yeah, you could do traditional too.
Okay.
Yeah, but now it's like with all the tools.
I know. I feel like everything's pushing towards digital.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad. I'm kind of sad about it. I mean, I feel like that kind of takes the natural art out of it.
Yeah, but every once in a while, there's like a gem that like, comes from like traditional stuff. Like, do you ever play Cuphead? Yeah, that's
I love it.
All traditionally drawn.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I love the traditional way of drawing and way of doing the art, because they do it all by hand back in the day.
Yeah.
I love that.
I forget how long that game took.
Probably forever. Those poor artists that did all those freaking hand drawings. They're like, can we digitize this, please? So yeah, there's plus and minus, of course. What's been your I know you said like hyper focusing on art pieces can be like a big thing to overcome. What's been like your biggest battle as far as art industry, things you've kind of like maybe that turned you off for a moment when it came to art, or anything that kind of deterred your path?
I guess like just not getting like a lot of invites and stuff to showings and things like that. Always had to just kind of find my own space.
Yeah, push your way through.
Yeah. Like the only reason I was showing with them is because I talked to them about it, and he was gracious enough to let me do shows with him.
You think that's made yourself like a stronger artist though?
The grind, yeah. And like I feel like I'm, it's like diamonds under pressure, And
that's a great way to look at it too. You've made a positive out of a negative though. Pushing through that adversity, and that's very inspirational to other people as artists.
Yeah, and I think like that's just kind of naturally how it is. Like the doors of opportunity don't really open up for you. You got to like find them and knock on them, and
you got to use those boots and kick them open. That's why you got those boots on, my friend.
That's why it's that year.
Exactly. So you got that big show coming up.
Yeah, that's gonna be November 16th, 17th, 18th. Yeah, 16th like the VIP night.
Ooh.
Yeah, fancy. Vegas should be really fun. There's also Complex Con going on up the street too.
And what's that?
It's like another art and fashion like showcase thing. And music.
Oh, there you go.
So they're big things. Like they got a big concert going on that's like attached to it.
They'll probably trickle down though. They'll probably trickle over and like
Yeah,
that's good when there's multiple things going on out there. Like, I feel like people are like, oh, what else can I see while I'm out here? So I'll probably work to your benefit, I think.
I think so. Yeah. And there's a lot of bleed over, I think, from like the community from both sides. Like I have friends that are at Complex Con that they have a cool art show going on. So it's like a big group show.
Oh, that's rad.
Yeah.
Good musicians out there too?
Yeah. There's like big headliners. I think they got Playboy Cardi and Travis Scott.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like big shows. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's Complex Con. Complex is like a big like a news outlet.
Oh, okay.
Or media.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm totally disconnected from that. Like that poor world. I don't even know.
It's like there was a hip hop magazine called The Source, kind of like The Source.
Okay.
You know, but where they add in more fashion and art along with what's going on with music.
Okay. All right. I get it. I'm gonna have to check it out now. Like, I have to get up to date apparently. So what kind of advice would you give people that are aspiring to be an artist or kind of, you know, a young kid out there looking to get into art? You know, what kind of advice do you have?
Don't get too frustrated.
Don't hyper focus.
Hyper focus when you need to. Don't get disgruntled. You know, don't give up.
Yeah.
A lot of don'ts on how to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then but do what you love.
Yeah. Do you feel like it took a while to find your voice in your art? Like what you really wanted to put into the art? Or like, let me put it this way. How has your art progressed and changed over the years?
I would think it's like finding my my like own thumbprint, you know, on like how would somebody look at this and know it's like a Funky Garcia piece without me having to sign it? You know?
Yeah.
And it's like all the little things that you do that nobody else does. And you just kind of experiment and you find that along the way.
Yeah, your little
I think
nuances.
I think for a long time I kind of battled on not being the guy that just draws the thing.
Oh, yeah. You're like, you don't want to get pigeonholed. You're
I don't want to get
just
pigeonholed.
do comics or I just do oil. Like you use multimedia.
Yeah, but it's also not a bad thing for being the guy that does the thing if it's the thing you just do. You know?
Yes, can we get that on a t-shirt? I've never heard it said better. Yeah, that's fantastic. Yeah, no, that's 100%. You want to be the guy, but you don't want to be the guy.
Yeah, you feel like you don't want to get pigeonholed, but then eventually you find a thing you just love to do, but then you end up being the guy that does that thing.
Well, then that makes you...
But you weren't trying to do it. Yeah.
That's magic, though.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's art, though. You know, when you've done this thing, and people are like, oh, but that's the guy that, you know, does this certain thing. And then there you go. You've created your name. You've created your calling card. Like you said, your thumbprint.
Yeah.
Oh, so are there any artists or art movements that have influenced your work?
A ton. Yeah. I'm going to go down the shout-outs and stuff. Shout out to Exhibit.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Hideout. Shout out to GCS Santa Ana. I showcased with them years ago, and then shout out to Brick to Your Face and Homegrown Radio. People with music that I really connected to. Shout out to Delicious Vinyl for giving me those opportunities. God. Yeah, there's a lot of people.
How long have you been in
Gallery? It's over 10 years now.
I love it.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you've been steady. You've had good experiences. You've just been hustling. Because that's a lot of galleries to do shows at. I mean, that's the point of pride right there. I think you're the guy. I think you found it. You got the minerals, you know? Yeah. And then
Appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is why we're talking to you today. You're talented. How do you navigate your business side of stuff? I know it's an ugly word. It is an ugly word, but at the end of the day, I mean, you know.
That's not the fun side. Yeah. It's fun when it's doing well.
Absolutely. And there's those hardships and things like that. And how have you worked to overcome those and made this, you know, obviously we can't make art our, you know, end all be all because like they say, you know, most artists don't get famous till they're dead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we hope that day comes before then. But how are you striving to like push through any kind of like hardships and things that like might stand in your way?
Just like keeping at it. And like luckily, like I said, I get to work at the comic book store, which is great.
Yeah.
We have a gallery, so like I curate and like get to help out a ton of other artists too.
Do you get to put your art in there too?
I have like pieces here and there.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. I haven't done like a solo there just because it feels like I'm there all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
You're like, this is just my home.
Yeah.
I love
like
it.
I have a mural in the front and in the store.
That's great.
So it's just like I got that and that.
You're like, that's me. I'm here.
Yeah. And everything else is tucked away.
Yeah.
And I get to show at like other galleries and stuff. And then with group shows, I'll like add a piece.
Nice. Well, you said you do like t-shirts and things like that. Do you have like an online store?
That's all starting. This is Funky Garcia.
Is it kind of kicking off with this show you're doing in November?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, that's
Designer
awesome.
Con's like my first like big, and that way I can the rest of the year do a pop up with Delicious. I could do a pop up here. Kind of have a show rig ready.
Yes, you can be. You're just ready. You got all your gear. I love that.
Yeah. So I'm like the business side of just the art is just starting.
That's good though. I mean, you're obviously hustling. You're obviously doing the thing, and it makes you happy. I mean, I can see the smile on your face. You got passion in your words. That's what it's all about. And then being an artist, such as marketing and selling your work. Where can we find all of these things?
You could DM me.
Perfect. And that's Funky Garcia on Instagram. You got a website?
Funky_Garcia. And the website is pending.
Okay, perfect.
I'm waiting for the drop.
We'll put all the links down below so we can find you.
Yeah. I got a funny little skit popping up too. It's
yes,
like
that's
an
rad.
announcement.
More of your stuff, your future goals right there.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You did a little acting on.
Oh, so you did it. Oh, so it's not animated. It's you doing the little skit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I do one every week at the store.
Really?
That's fun.
Awesome.
This week I did Terminator, but I had the boots.
You got to showcase those boots all the time. They're amazing. So from here, we've got our launch coming in November.
Yes.
What's your your dream show? Let's put it that way. Like, what's your future dream show? And it could be, you can get wild. Like, what do you want it to look like?
I would love to be like separate little galleries for different vibes. Cause like stuff I used to do at Delicious, we would paint up the wall, and it'd be like a different theme for the showing.
Oh, nice.
But if I can have like this section is like this is what I'm going with. Maybe have like 4 different moods.
Nice. So as you walk through the gallery, it just changes. I love that. That's good.
And then have a little side area for like a concert, DJ. Man, I don't know if I want to go down that rabbit hole of who I would want to perform.
Do it.
A few friends and like somebody I look up to.
Okay. Who do you look up to? Give me like top 3.
Top 3. Oh, dang.
I'm putting you on the spot, my friend.
Yeah. That's hard. I mean, I always want to just like as an MC, I'm putting up like Kendrick up there, of course.
Oh,
but
best.
I mean, there's no,
I literally was listening to him on my way here today. So good.
But if I were to do like more like producers and stuff, I've always wanted to work with Dame Funk. He's like a dope funk, like new funk producer.
Nice.
So I'm like, one day get that going. Dang. Battle Cat be a cool DJ.
Yes, so good. These are good. Okay, you got your top 3. And what location? Give me dream location.
I think I would find something kind of off the grid, just like in the cut. Like you have to know where to go.
Ooh, like secret old warehouse party days?
Kinda, yeah. But not like an established place. I think it'd be like
you
a
gotta get
pop-up.
a secret map kind of situation. That's how they used to do raves back in the day. So you'd get I'm old as shit. And back in the day, you used to be told, okay, you got to go to this street, talk to this guy. He's going to give you a flyer, right?
You have to talk to a whole guy. You got directions to that guy.
You got directions to the dude that was going to give you the flyer to give you directions to the other place. That's going to give you directions to the other place.
You make a fake flyer to get to the real flyer?
Yeah. There was a whole situation because they want to know how hard you're going to work to find the secret club. Yeah.
I didn't even know I wanted that, but I guess, yeah.
Now I put it in your brain. Now you got to make it happen.
Like a pirate map.
Yes, exactly. It was like a scavenger hunt. You got to find the rave. was really cool.
I really want to do that.
There you go. Put it out there. Okay, so we're gonna go way off topic. What's your favorite scary movie?
Oh dang! I have a weird one. I loved Event Horizon. Was like one of my favorites. For some reason, I gravitated towards that movie because there was just like so much weird stuff going on, and it was sci-fi.
Oh, okay. So you're the sci-fi. Okay.
Yeah, I love sci-fi. Okay. Yeah. Phantasm used to scare the crap out of me.
That was a creepy ass movie.
Right.
Dude, that guy was creepy.
That old man,
hell.
like.
You're like, can you please not?
Somehow that movie taught me Stranger Danger, where I'm just like.
For real. Honestly, that guy was not creepy. Yep. He was along the lines of like Warlock. Did you watch those movies?
Oh, yeah. I feel like I blocked that from my memory.
Great. I'm triggered something in your brain. Because I'm like, no, I can't sleep, this bitch. What's a recent movie you've seen you really liked?
A recent horror movie.
Are you big into movies? Big into horror? Is that your jam?
I love movies.
I love movies.
Yeah, horror. Yeah, but there's so much. There's so many.
There is so many.
Yeah.
I mean, it depends on if you want psychological, you want nasty, like gory, 80s style slasher films. Yeah.
I think I usually lean more towards the psychological ones.
Me too.
I'm like, those are messed up, like in a different way, You
hear the twists and turns. You're like, what? I saw a good one recently called Oddity. Like that. What? Some good twists, some good like jump scares. We're like, what the fuck?
In like theaters?
No. It was a Shutter.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, that's just there's a whole app.
Oh yeah. You get all the horror movies.
I'm like, there's so many new horror movies. It's hard to.
They're coming out like every day. I can't keep up.
Yeah,
and there's
like
some
I know
real
that
bad
Terrifier
ones.
just dropped or whatever.
Oh yeah, Terrifier 3.
Yeah, those. I have a weird like. The practical effects and everything are amazing.
Yeah.
The story.
Oh yeah, there's no story.
There's no story.
And I love how they try and make a story.
Guy.
That's my problem. It's like slashers. It's just like, all right, cool. Like the new Evil Dead. Everybody's it was amazing. I'm like, was it though? Because I feel like the part. Did you watch the new one?
Yeah.
I feel like the part where the girl falls into the basement and she finds the book and it talks about like all the monks and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, go into that story.
Yeah,
like go into the backstory about the book and like the monks and stuff. Instead, you got the mom running around in the apartment building trying to kill them.
You got a little bit of lore.
Yeah, I was like, I want that story. I think that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe. What's your any words of wisdom to your fellow artists that you want to leave them with?
I thought I had a good one with the whole rant about do what you love.
Yeah.
I don't want to rehash.
All right. That sounds good to me. Well, I thank you for being here. Yeah, absolutely. I thank you for doing what you're doing. And hopefully we see you back here at Exhibit very soon. Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah, you're fantastic. So everybody can come see you in November in Vegas.
Yes.
We will drop links and things below. And it was a pleasure meeting you and talking to you, seeing your fabulous mustache. It was on point.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.